say, in the biblical terms, you give up your life to Christ, right?
Yeah.
You give up everything. You change your life and you say, I'm done with the wickedness, I'm done with this, and you give your life to Christ. The same is said for fighting tyranny and oppressive governments. You give up your life. You give up everything that you're about. You give up your standard of living. You give up the way your children live. You give up the way you live. You give up every aspect of your life for the future of your fucking nation. And we don't, and I'm guilty, man. I don't do that because I haven't done that, and it saddens me, and I got to figure out my own way. The nations are going to be fighting each other for the end of time, right? Nothing's going to change. We can wish and we can hope that we'll come together and we'll be like, oh, because the people in Russia don't want to deal with the shit that the government in Russia, governments around the world are making us do shit that no one wants to fucking do. What happened on January 6th?
Well, all right. My opinion.
No. But what I'm saying is, what happened on? You had a people that did something, and it's been construed by everybody to one thing, and that is the way that people are supposed to believe. And they're all people that believe other things. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, nothing's going to change no matter what, because the powers that be are the powers that be, and they change things the way they deem. And we are dumb enough to go along with it, because if okay, we have a standard of living, right? And we make our paycheck. And right now they're constricting it. Now let's say that the powers that be say, we're not doing this. We're going to fight against it. We go, oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad you're for us. And the people that are the majority go, thank you for doing this. And we keep going with the powers that be. And they keep going and go, these stupid motherfuckers think we're with them. And they just keep shrugging us along. It's the same shit every fucking day, all day long. It doesn't matter. Until people are willing to give up their standard of living and go against normal life and go against their own fucking income and their own ways of living, until you're willing to burn your fucking house down in every way that you have for your children, you don't have a stance. So nothing's going to change until our standard of living is okay to fuck you. We don't need that. Yeah, but when we go on the fucking road and we do our own thing and we change the world, that's it. And it's never going to happen. Sorry.
But do you not
POTB get a 1 in chat for that one?
Press 1.
That was fire. That was fire. I got to say that was facts. Fire, POTB. Thank you. That was fucking fire.
Yeah, I agree. Do you not think that they're trying to do that, though? Trying to push us to that point with all the shortages?
I think they're...
Yeah.
No, 100%. I think they're trying to...
Frog in the pot.
Out, just like they did with Trump. They're flushing us out, the ones that resist. Just like with the hoo-ha, wadawaki. They're flushing us out to see who are the complacent ones and who are the ones that are going to fight back.
Blood.
So they can strategically take us fucking down.
I'm saying I'm with you. I think they're exacerbating everything that happened on January 6th, and that's why they're going so hard on this premise that is like the worst thing in the world, right? Is because you can't. They pushed us and pushed us like backwoods and ghetto and all of them are saying. I think they pushed us to the point where they're trying to get this certain reaction. They didn't get the reaction they wanted. So
I agree.
They're taking the reaction they had and they're exacerbating it like it's this.
Go for it, POTB.
No, I'm saying, all I'm saying is no one in here really believes, and I'm saying this in my own belief, but no one in here believes that politicians are really steering anything in the way that anything is going. It's corporations, it's businesses, it's high-profile elite individuals that are profiling and doing things they want to do, right? So nothing would have happened. We could have taken over the entire Capitol, and it was still would have been construed in whatever way needed to be to make it what it is. We could have done away, and I say that in the most polite way, done away with everyone in that area. And it wouldn't have it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered because you still have high-profile elite individuals that actually run shit that would have changed it. You know what I mean?
Well, they can't hide either.
We're not going after the right people. Okay, so let's say
that's it. Know your enemy. That's a good rule. Know your enemy.
we're all mad. We're all mad. And we're all doing this and we're all doing that.
Yep. Stop fighting amongst yourselves.
Everyone, and let's say this is the enemy. As an example, let's say the people that are running Walmart are the enemy.
Lord.
No, I'm serious.
As an example.
Talking about in the chat.
As an example,
every time I'm up here, man, I get paranoid. Shit.
As an example, let's say that the people that are running that organization are running parts of what you're trying to fight, right? No one's willing to fucking not shop there. And until people are willing to go away from their standard of living and they're willing to come back and they're willing to subsidize and go smaller in their standard of living and they're willing to buy less and do less and live less, we're never going to come out of it. It doesn't fucking matter. We're in this till the fucking end because there's not a single fucking person that's going to be like, well, I would quit my job, but I make this much a month and I can't give away from that. Well, no shit you can't, because you're not fucking willing to give up your fucking standard of living to actually give to your fucking nation. So everyone tries to act like they're fucking some patriot and they're gonna do something fucking great, and not a single motherfucker is gonna sit there and come back and actually give up what they have so they can give to the fucking next generations, because no one actually gives a fuck.
Sorry. You should have said sorry so quick, though. It makes it harder to take the clip out.
You're 100% right, brother. You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Sorry.
People are too comfortable.
As soon as our comfort zones get bothered, that's when we will fight. It's just
when it comes to your door. When it might be too late though.
But
it will be
how
too late.
late is it when it comes to everybody's fucking door that it's affecting their standard of living? Many people have been to other generations, other nations, and they've seen people just with nothing and fighting and scraping and doing what they can and literally giving their fucking life for what they believe in. And it doesn't matter, because what they believe in for their family and their friends is more important than what they're doing. And all these people doing this, I've been to nations where they're doing that,
right?
And they're trying to make a difference, which is still minuscule to what they're fucking doing, because other nations are still fucking influencing them, right? And they're trying. And what are we doing? Going to fucking Starbucks and get our fucking lattes and doing nothing. We are gonna get shit. We're gonna fucking die as a nation. And we can sit on here, and I'm sorry, and I'm being fucking bad, but we can sit on here and we can be all melodramatic, but it's the fucking truth. We're not going anywhere. We're going to die as a fucking nation because we fucking ate ourselves to death, and we fucking lived ourselves to death in our own fucking superficial fucking world, and that's it.
Don't you dare be sorry about what you just said, brother.
Amen.
Facts. Don't you dare be sorry about that.
Does it make our military feel less responsible for sticking up for us here in America, because they see people over there having such a hard time and fighting and giving their lives, and we're over here spoiled going to fucking Starbucks and shit? Does that make soldiers, you know, kind of, I don't know what the word would be, but kind of like not give so much of a fuck about its own people, because they look at, you know, the military look at the citizens like, y'all are weak as shit. Y'all don't know how to stand up for shit.
It's different opinions, man. There's a lot of guys I know that I've served with that are like, those people are savages and we're not, right? There's a lot of people I've served with that are, help those people out unless, you know, and we're gifted. There's a lot of people that are like, I don't give a fuck, it's a paycheck. There's so many different ideas and ideologues in everyone's brain that it's there was no clear outcome, right? So we went into this whole thing to fight what?
Yeah.
To end what?
Yeah.
And to be done with what?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So as we're going through 20 years later, as we're going through this and we're fighting, and guaranteed, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. It's fun as fucking shit, right? I loved it. I loved every fucking minute of it. Because it's an exhilarating fucking part of life to fight. right? It's exhilarating. But for what, right? At that point, you have to answer yourself, what are you fighting for? When 20 years go by and you don't have a clear definition from your leadership what your end goal is, I had leadership that was like, in 10 years, we should have allies here. And we did in the area I was at, right?
Right.
We should have allies here. And I was like, man, I have something to fight for, and this is going to happen. And I fought with people at the same location that were wanting the same thing. There's a goal. But when there's an area you go to, there's no goal, there's no end result. You're just fighting to fight, and that's it. You know what I mean? There's no end result. So you can sit there and see the pain and the sorrow of the world and go back and see it happen in your world and be like, wow, we're the fucking same, right? The only reason this place looks like shit is because they don't have anybody picking up after them. And we go to our place and we think we're so much fucking better than them, but we have shit in our yards and our driveways and our fucking highways because everyone's a slobby piece of fucking shit, right? We're the same. But we have people that pick up after us and we feel higher than them. It's the same fucking world, different part of it, and different language, and different beliefs. That's it.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that, Prepper Outside the Box. That's why I said it's mainly greed. Every time we go to war,
everything's greed.
Yeah.
Everything that's ran around this entire fucking world is greed. Sam Walter, the person that owned, I'm sorry, it was Sam Walter. The person that owned Walmart was a good guy.
Walt.
Yeah, Sam Walt. He was a good guy. He was a businessman there, just really wanted to expand. His kids, greedy fucking little shits, right? And they destroyed it, and they made it what it is now.
Yep.
All this shit has happened because of greed. And it doesn't matter because it's never going to change, because when you sit there and I say, and I'm not pointing you out backwoods, I'm just saying like backwoods, I say, hey, here's $10. But if you go take that piece of land or you expand that way and do the same operation, I'll give you 30. Well, shit, yeah, I'm going to do it, right? Because I want to make more money for my family. And everyone's selfish to the point of making their best for their family, as it has been across the millennia for the entire world. And what happens? It goes to the point of maximum greed. It gets crumbled, destroyed, and then expands out. It happens again, destroyed, and it happens.
But I do want to say this. There are those ones that it's not. It's like in that Batman movie. They just want to see the world crumble. You know, like money does not mean. And their passion is something else that's wild as shit. You know what I mean?
You know what's fucked up?
But see, those are the true anarchists, though.
No, they're not.
Hey.
No.
I'm there, Trot.
No.
True
anarchists. True anarchists. No, they're under the basically no non-aggression principle. Also, when it comes down to, there's no such thing as no masters, no rulers. All right, that doesn't mean there's no rules. I mean, it's called natural law. All right, that's basically the creator's law. The creator creates law. Men create statutes, codes, policies, mandates, rules, and all that other shit. That's what men create. The creator create laws. Like, for instance, you throw something up in the air, it comes down. That's a fucking law. That's objective, not subjective. It's not subjective. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a difference between actual law and when it comes down to statutes. That's what we're living under on the court system. Statutes. It's not law, you know what I mean? The law is actually our Bill of Rights, but is that being upheld? Is that being enforced?
But you know what? We would maximize and we would capitalize on everything if people right now in every generation in our nation, really across the fucking world, because people that control are a minuscule amount that can be overtaken in a fucking heartbeat. They're nothing. They're dweebs that are fucking sitting there and they think they have control. They don't, right? So if people across the world literally sat there and was like, hey man, I'm at a part of my nation where I'm going to make something of myself. I'm going to be a part in history that's going to be fucking remembered because I gave up everything for my children, right? My children's children. If all of those people sat there and said, I will give up my house, my property, my rights, everything. Give up everything in your life for your kin. We would outcome everything. This whole thing would be over if every motherfucker sat there and said, I will give up my entire standard of living for my kin. We'd be done.
This dude makes me want to pledge allegiance to the flag and shit every time he talks.
Hey, motherfucker, every motherfucker should pledge allegiance to the flag because the American ideology is what we're representing. It's not our government. Fuck our government. Our government does not represent shit anymore. The American ideology is freedom and everybody having their own to represent themselves and be able to better themselves and their family and all that kind of stuff.
Man,
Get
dude,
it back,
you brought my Patriot wings out, brother, tonight. I'm just telling you. Man. God dang, this is some good shit, man. Jesus. Whoa.
That's a clip.
I'll watch it, man. I think they got that copywritten.
Clip it.
Backwards is a clip whore, I'm just saying.
This message was approved by Backwoods.
hey, Backwoods got motivation, man. I just get upset, and I get upset at myself, man. It's not like I'm some fucking hierarchy. I do the same shit. I've sat there and I've been at protests for my school and all this kind of stuff. It's minuscule bullshit stuff. That's the end. That's it. 30 parents outside of a fucking school is it? You know what I mean? No one fucking cares anymore, and that's
I mean, it's not going to solve anything yelling at a fucking wall. I agree. It's not going to solve a damn thing.
But that's what's disheartening is I'm a libertarian, right? I don't care if someone sits there and say, I want to do meth, I want to do heroin until I die. I'd be like, you know what? You shouldn't, but it's your life, right? I will defend their choice till their death, right? If someone wants to sit there and do this or do that, I'll defend their choice till death because everyone should have the ability in their own life to create their own destiny. And no one should be catered or cratered by some politicians. It hurts my soul, man. It does. Because I told my wife this, man. I said, it's disheartening to go over to nations that are sitting there and they're crumbling and they're falling apart and they're trying to fight oppressive entities, right? So they're trying to fight someone that's going against them in any way. And there's most of the nations I've went to have been trying to fight some kind of oppressive nation or entity or whatever, fourth generational warfare that's gone against them. And it's hard to go over these places. You help them fight it and you help them do this. And then we come back here and we just watch it slip into it, man. It's fucking sad that we go fight for this because entities are getting paid for it. And then we come back and we're like, oh, hoorah, we're, go military and go this and go that. And then we just watch our own government, our own fucking society rather slip into the same thing as opposed to giving up their own standard of living. Because no one, and I go back to it, no one's willing to give up their standard of living and their lifetime for the next generation. Everyone's like, well, you know what? It's the next generation's problem. It's always the next generation's problem. It's not our problem. Our fucking debt is incredible, but it's not our problem, right? Fuck everybody else. We're going to die before it's a fucking problem. It's my kid or their kid's problem.
I hear that all the time.
So we push everything off and we're like, oh man, that sucks. I hope they fix it. And we just fucking go with it, man. And it's depressing that you sit there and you go off to a nation, you're like, hey, whether it works or not, because they fucking didn't. So whether you fucking fight against some oppressive whatever or not, and it works, and then you come back and it's the same fucking shit. It's the It's just the world fucking repeating itself, man. It's nothing. And all we do is we sit here and I'm fucking guilty because look at me. I'm bitching on fucking YouTube, right? And that's why I bitched out of fucking school. Hoorah, right?
It's Stockholm syndrome on a massive scale.
It's just sad, man. It's sad.
Right.
It really is. It's depressing. And you get people that truly believe in it, and they go through, man. You know what my grandfather said before he died? He died just before the end of last year. And he sat there and looked at me and he goes, hey, you remember what our Second Amendment's for? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, don't forget it. And then he died. Like literally a month later. Like it's like he reminded me, and then he died. That motherfucker was a Korean vet with a Silver Star, which was really something back then. Dude was bad fucking ass. And he was a fucking what do you call it? Not a minister. The person that goes to another country and teaches Bible and stuff like that. Not a minister. Anyways, he went to Honduras and all these South American areas and all that kind of stuff. A minister?
No, it's Monasterian. Monasterian.
Yeah, well, he went over there, built churches, and did all this for like 12 years after fighting in the Korean War. He was a badass. And I'm sitting here, and he's like, you remember this? I'm like, yeah. And he dies, and I'm like, oh, no, don't worry, Grandpa. I'm still a bitch. You know what I mean? I'm not some badass. What the fuck am I doing? And it's sad. And that's the one thing that keeps me up at 1:58 in the fucking morning Central Time. It kills me because honestly, man, you got Tribe has a fucking awesome stream. I love Tribe's stream. I literally do. He fucking does music and laughter and brings people together, and that should be the kind of stuff that we celebrate. But we're sitting here talking about bullshit instead of just living life, enjoying ourselves. And I
love you, man. I really love you.
Clip. Damn, you guys want a hug or something?
I'm about to mouth.
Nah, I feel you, POTB, man.
Being about as serious as can be, though. I mean,
I'm about to mouth hug everybody.
Facts. This is honestly some of the hardest, most realest, rawest shit that you've ever done, POTB. I appreciate you doing it on my shit, because I am going to clip this shit up, and motherfuckers is going, and I'm not talking about little clips. I'm talking about I'm going to clip out all the shit, put you together, all together, because everything you've said tonight, at least 90%, when you wasn't bullshitting, was some straight up, real, raw shit, man.
Cold hard
facts.
I
salute you.
Yeah, me too.
Because you're right, man. I mean,
I can see where the sadness is, though, POTB, because we can talk until we're blue in the face, but we're still watching it fucking burn.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about it?
It's hard. It's hard because you say, what are we going to do about it? But what are you going to do about it except for give up? Okay, I'll give you this, right? People say when you're, and I'm going to go biblical, right? Just for a second, small, but listen.
Come on, Backwoods. Let's see it, man. Let's see it.
Fucking attention,
give us something. Give us something, brother. Say something.
Brother, man, I tell you, the thing about it is we go out there and we try to stand, and none of you motherfuckers want to show up, man. Just what POTB was saying. I had 2,000 members in the little group I was in. Only 15 motherfuckers showed up to do something. That's why we ain't getting nothing done, man. You motherfuckers need to get up and fucking stand up and let's fucking do this shit. Either that or just bow down on your knees, man. That's all I'm saying. Just bow down on your knees.
It goes beyond standing up in the streets, though, man. It's more what POTB was saying.
Yeah.
You gotta stop paying the taxes. You gotta live below your means. You gotta stop adding to the fucking system.
Yeah, we got to abolish the Federal Reserve and the IRS for sure. We got to get rid of it.
We're never going to make a difference until we stop dividing ourselves, right?
I agree.
So when you have, let's take two similar problems that we've dealt with, right? Let's say you have me that wants my daughter to go to her own bathroom and do this, and you have this person that wants to be non-binary, and I'm just saying extremes, right? Unless you sit there and you have people that start to come together and a point to understand that their means and your means are not going to be met until the system is fixed, nothing's going to change, right? So even if it's not that extreme, even if it's the right side saying they want pro-life and the left side saying they want pro-choice, right? It's not until people come together and they start fighting against and they start conversing to figure out a smart way to sit there and preserve life and preserve the mother's life and things like that at the same time that things are fixed, right? Because there's so many more streets than what were presented. And I know people hate me or whatever the fuck, but there's mothers' rights to the point where they could die also. You know what I mean? And there's so many other things that could do. So when people start going beyond those parts and they start reasoning together, I get it backwards. I understand.
But no, I'm trying to say is that you've been saying all night about, we got to stop or we got to do this, we got to do that. But I'm doing the fucking thing, man. I ain't paid taxes in like 3 years, man.
I'm not saying you're not backwoods.
I paid all my fucking bills off, with the stock market money that I'd played. I paid all my bills off, man. So I don't have to live, I don't have to have all this money to live. And so I keep my shit just under the radar to where I don't have to pay taxes, man. I'm doing the fucking thing. That's what I'm saying.
You pay taxes every time you fill your truck up.
I understand all that.
Taxes are on everything.
I understand all that, but at the same time, I am doing everything that I can. I don't hardly ever go anywhere, dude. I got an F-150 pickup truck with a big 8 in it, and I pull equipment around all the time. And dude, I ain't filled my tank up in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because I do everything I can to try to keep from buying from these motherfuckers, man.
And that's the reason too, is at least like stopping as much as you do, and that's the point, man. That's good. Is the fact that you sit there and pull away from the system.
But to win against the system, we all got to just stop using anything that's attached to the system. My bad, PrepperTribe.
No, that's all right, brother. That's all right. I just want to say this. The way I've lived my life and the things that I've been through, how I've handled everything, it was always looked at as the bad boy. That but I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the way it's now coming back to look like PrepperTribe lived the right fucking way. Because if I'm not going to spread my business online and say everything, but people that know me, y'all know, I haven't listened to the government. I haven't fucked with police. I had none of that shit my entire life.
From the gate.
My entire life.
You know what a big problem we had in our nation.
I don't hate the police now. Don't get me wrong. I've gotten older and I've realized that I'm not 100% anti-police or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is I've lived like an outlaw my entire fucking life, and now it ain't so outlawish, if you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You want to know some fixes we could do? We've lived, and I'm with you, Tribe, man. You're hard as shit, but I'm just saying, like, no, I'm not. Okay, I'm not saying that like as a. I'm not saying being facetious. I'm saying like you're hard as shit, but I'm saying like there's some things we can do in life that would change stuff. If you don't know what it is, look up the fair tax. The fair tax is an inclusive and exclusive taxes on everything sales, right? And it abolishes the IRS. Completely. Look it up because it's a real thing that people have done books on, both good and bad, and you can look into it. And that would do a huge difference. The fair tax, right? At the same time, if we didn't hold politicians and we didn't get people we know to hold politicians to the status of some kind of a celebrity, right? Because that's what they are. Who gets excited and giddy, not saying you guys, but you know, if they get to meet the president, and if they get to meet the congressman, and they get to meet the regular motherfuckers that represent them. You know what I'm saying? They're regular fucking people. They are. I've met them. They're pieces of shit. I've met them behind the scenes. They're dog pieces of shit. They don't give a fuck. Not all of them, the ones I've met, didn't give a fuck about you. One of them's dead already. Anyways, if we hold them to like some kind of a standard that's not holding them on a pedestal, but to what they're saying. Easy to say, done, right? Easier said than done, right? So you've got that, and then you've got okay. So this is what I've thought, and you tell me what you think. Every single politician skips a generation, right? If you're a senator, your son or your daughter cannot be, but their son or daughter can be, right? You have to skip a generation to cut family lines, right?
Right.
You cannot have an outside source of income. If you're there to be a family or a public servant, you're there to be a public servant. So no outside sources of income.
And they should only get a paycheck of $4.32 an hour.
Median income of the place you live. You can live there, you can suffice there if it's the median income. But if you cut out their outside source of income, you give them the median income of the place they live, and you don't let them do generation to generation, I think it would change a lot. But that's me.
You're right.
That's very good, fair points. I have to agree.
I want to interject here for a second. I think another way that we could actually try to fix things is something that, Hutch has been in that direction of.
Yeah, Nisi knows.
Because it, if you think about it, if you actually get the communities together in the way that he's talking, you're bringing everybody together. You're getting kind of that tribe mentality going as well. Everybody's going to be for everybody in the group. We're not you won't be as
sorry, I'm looking at it.
as selfish as like he was talking about a while ago. All of us are selfish. We all want better for us. We all want better for our kids and everything else. But if we can come together as an actual community, whether it be similar to what Hutch has got going on or something maybe even completely opposite of that, but all coming together. Because you think about it. You look at what they did with their autonomous zones or whatever. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, do one of those that can actually, survive on its own.
Sustain itself.
Yeah, they can sustain itself. What can they do with that? The ones that they popped up and that were okay and all this and that were nowhere near sustainable. But if you had one that was able to produce all of its food, was able to produce whatever energy it needed, water source, so on and so on. But what could they do to you?
There are though, Silverback. There are.
Well, I know there's different ones out there like that, but yeah. I'm saying more of them.
Yeah.
That's like, you look at building a small house or compared to like an Earth ship. The Earth ship itself is self-sustainable.
Yeah.
You got 90% or better of everything you're doing is either reused, given to you from the planet or something like that. Compared to a house,
yeah,
you've got to heat it, you got to produce your electricity for it, you got to have your running water, so on and so on. If we could actually get people to, like he was talking about, lower our standards a little bit of our living, because a lot of people even though you could have high standards in an Earth ship, it does take some adjustment.
What do we do if they own the fucking water, man? They're able to control the rain that goes down onto the land. So even if we have the utopian island, they're controlling what water we get.
That also depends on location, because like I know some states.
There's a whole state. What is it, Colorado? I think it is. Or
it's
something
completely
like that?
illegal to catch your rainwater.
Shit, I'm here in Oregon.
But here in Missouri, it's 100% legal.
Yeah, but do they have ownership over the fucking rain now? Come on now.
They sure do.
That's just
areas do. Areas have ownership over the way that their society looks. You know what I mean? So instead of catching water and being self-sufficient, they look pretty, and they're just regular members of society. They go out and get their water the way means everybody else does.
Just remember how the Hopi Indians did stuff and how they've been doing for almost going on 6,000 years.
Yeah. They're the only tribe that never signed a treaty too. Now think about it.
The problem is we have so many people in this world, man,
That's
that it's hard to get. If we had 1 million people in this chat right now, 300,000 of them don't give a shit what we're talking about. They're just here, right?
Okay.
300,000 are against us and talking shit in chat. And then there's 300,000 that are with us. What kind of society do we live in? They are focusing on what thing? Democracy, right? The majority. The majority. We're in a constitutional republic where, if you think about it, right? A constitutional republic is the most sane part of our country that we have. Every minority, regardless of race, color, or creed or anything, has a voice to their own rights. You know what I mean? In a constitutional republic. In a democracy, they're infringed on. So we're literally taking the freest country, quote unquote, in the world, and we're saying, oh, we have all these freedoms. Come here, come here, come here. And then we're crushing them. And we're saying, well, we have freedoms for this, not for you. Not for you. Not for this. Not for that. Don't say that. Don't say this. And be this way, right? We're crushing our constitutional republic to diminish our rights for these minorities. And what is the minorities in our country? We're a majority of white people. So what is the minorities? The Asian, Black, Mexican, or Latino, or whatever you want to say. But the minorities in the country are not white, right? So if anybody, you would think that a left-leaning industry, a liberal media would be on the side of a minority, if that's the way they proclaim. But they're not, because if they were, they would be for the constitutional republic that protects their freedoms and their rights in the Constitution, instead of going to a democracy, which is the majority, which is fucking white people, you dumb motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, the true minority is the individual, no matter who it is.
But it's us. It's us white people. And we're supposed to be this constitutional republic, and we're all about the minorities, and we're all about the black and the brown and the Asian and all this kind of stuff, right?
No, it's been hijacked.
How the fuck are we for that if the majority of us don't go for the constitutionally protected rights in our republic? If we're trying to push a fucking democracy, we're diminishing their rights and we're destroying their freedoms. Because who's gonna fucking win? White people. And I'm okay because I'm white. But who the fuck's gonna lose? Not white people. No shit, right?
I salute you with my robe, sir.
Somebody in chat said natives. Now, see, that there's, in my opinion, it's kind of a muddy water situation there. Because now, look at me. I'm probably one of the whitest motherfuckers up here.
I'm pretty white.
Got the red hair going on. I do like backwoods talked about, you shoot me in the leg or break my leg, you're going to see it snap. I'm see-through. All right. But now my grandmother and my grandfather, full-blooded Cherokee. Now, can you tell that from looking at me?
You know what's funny?
No, you can't.
My grandmother is Cherokee too. And you know who made fun of that? Native. Native was like, Don't say Cherokee. That's the easiest shit in the world. I was like, I get it, man.
But if you're here from Missouri and you think about it,
it's Cherokee.
It's Cherokee for the biggest part because the Trail of Tears ran right through here. You know, and that's where a lot of people. I mean, you know. So I mean, who's really a native anymore? You can have even bloodlines that are what might be considered pure, but if you truly track down, you're going to have something in there somewhere.
If you want to say that, then I'm a second generation immigrant, right? Because my grandfather came over here on a fucking boat, and it was called a wop and a dago the whole fucking time, which is, I'm sorry, sorry, Trent.
That's what
he was. Well, no, because I mean they flag shit like that, but he was called names.
Speak your mind, man. Speak your mind. I know your heart. I know you ain't no racist piece of shit. I know that, and I think everybody knows that. Who knows you?
Yeah.
I'm just saying he was called names, and he didn't like it, obviously. And my father would sit there as a young teenager and joke with his friends about those names and get his ass beat by his father, which I thought was hilarious when he told me. But it's I could be a second generation fucking immigrant, or I could be a native to the area, depending on how you look at it. Well, not a native, but a native, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
it depends on the fucking the trail of the fucking generations that created me. But what I'm saying, we're so fucking focused. We're so fucking focused on where the fuck we came from instead of who the fuck we are and what we stand for that we're just
where we're going.
Yeah, and we're just destroying ourselves, man, and it fucking kills me because we have so much more to offer to the people that come here and the people that are from here to build on what we've already become, that we're focused on stupid shit. Man, it's hard because I'm a white guy saying that, and it doesn't mean shit. That's fine. And there's a lot of black guys and brown guys that say the same thing, or women, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. That there's a narrative that's destroying us as a people, and it's destroying fucking families. And what's the biggest problem in our nation? It's fucking destroyed families, fathers leaving kids, and all this kind of shit. And we fucking let it happen, and it's a fucking catastrophe that we just allow it to happen because we don't want to sound this or that or anything like that. Like it's instead of coming together and preaching, and there's so many good people to do, but there's not enough that pull together that preserve that family and that unity for youth to grow up in good families, to grow up and be prosperous and all that kind of stuff. We have all these people that grow up in meth towns, where I'm from, right? Meth towns and crack houses and all these things, and they grow up in terrible fucking lives because we're so convinced that we got to fix this and that instead of fixing our own homes and fixing our own youth and fixing the fact that we sit there, we have songs that talk about popping your fucking pussy instead of fucking, I don't know, doing anything fucking productive. And we're so worried about fucking getting poontang than we are fucking creating family and creating something that's productive in life. And we're destroying ourselves, man. We're fucking killing ourselves.
Just saying, that's facts, man. That's that hard hitting facts, because and it doesn't matter where you live or how rich you are. There's different way. When you talked about stripping fathers out of the home, I mean, shit. I grew up. There was no fathers in the home. No fucking where. Every once in a while.
And it's the same for mothers in the home, but the idea is that fathers are stripped from the home. I get it. There needs to be a mother and a father for a home, or that figure for a home. You can spin it however you want to, but I get it. There needs to be some kind of figure to guide each individual towards their destiny. You know what I'm saying?
You need nurture and nature. You need somebody to be protective, and you need somebody to put that foot in that ass when it needs to be.
Like a fucking puppy that just gets born. They have to fucking know how to act. You know what I mean? No puppy just comes out and goes, yes, sir, I'll sit. They fucking learn how to be through their fucking pack and their I mean,
so who's our role
mammals.
models today? Who's our role models for the young people today? Who are they? Who are our role models that we can look up to?
Hey,
you won't see them on mainstream.
The role models.
You see them all the time. But it's the wrong motherfucking people that should be role models. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The ones that were actually needed, you will not see on mainstream anywhere.
The role models for people are support. Excuse me.
The role models should be the parents. Period.
Well,
first force, right? The role models should be the parents. They should be teaching and guiding children to be how they're supposed to be. If they can't be, then we're stuck with something else, right? And that's where the rest of us, parents and parental guidance, should be enforcing, right? So that's why we're so outspoken. So let's say, what is that? The teachers, right? They're the next fucking stage, regardless of what you fucking think. Parents are there, they're raising their children, then fucking teachers are there. And if the parents don't give a shit, teachers are raising them. And if the teachers have free will to do whatever the fuck they want, and they don't have parents that give a shit to sit there and be like, nope, fix yourself, fuck off, right? Then that's it. So you either have free will from lunatic teachers, or you have controlled teachers, and you have people that are teaching how to be educated and all this kind of stuff and going. And then you have other outside sources. People could be big
obedient worker.
Sister. Yeah, well, people could be mentors in all capacities. Be a good person in general, and you could be a good fucking mentor to anybody. You don't have to be their fucking brother, sister, father, mother. You could just be a good fucking person and show them how to fucking live when they see you out in the fucking public.
One of the biggest problems is titles. Because you say teacher, and we automatically give them a pass for whatever. Oh, they're a teacher. A police. Oh, we automatically give them a pass. We need to say fuck all these types. They're human beings. I've known bus drivers that were popping fucking pills and wrecking the fucking bus with a bunch of kids on board. I know principals at schools that were buying shit. I mean, just because they're a teacher or a police or a judge doesn't mean they're good people. It doesn't mean they're the righteous. Some of them motherfuckers are the worst human beings walking the fucking planet.
Right. So it's up to us to be role models.
Well, Well, I mean, it's up to us as a society to be role models.
As a society, yeah.
Because the way that we're interacting with each other, I guarantee that me, Ghetto, and Cherokee, Backwoods, Silverback, and freaking Tribe, and yourself, we do not agree on everything 100%. Guaranteed, right?
Hell no.
We don't, right? But our ability to be civil and to discuss things and be able to go around and talk and say, what is your opinion? What is your opinion? What is your opinion? And my opinion and all that kind of shit. Our ability to be adults is our representative, our example to youth,